gift of Hades, the liquid fire. Next, I will take the gift of Boreas, the ice storm. Power to bring my son back to me.
Remember your purpose, Kratos.
Pandora's box.
The power to kill the gods still rests inside.
Your ruthless murdering of the gods has caused all of this!
The twilight is upon us.
Soon I will have my boy.
How can I recover the box?
The key, Pandora.
I need you to free me.
A child.
I'm not a child, Kratos.
Neither living nor dead.
Stay away from this thing!
The labyrinth! Find the labyrinth! Ah!
My son! My beautiful Icarus!
Everyone is afraid of you.
Fear of you consumes him.
I'm not afraid of you.
Fear is a heavy burden.
You have the ice storm. The scorpion must be defeated. Ice storm. That is the secret of the labyrinth.
I see truths where do not.
To escape it, we must assemble it.
As long as Zeus reigns, there is no hope for mankind. Destroy the flame, Kratos.
If you take her to the flame...
Once inside, you must use the gift of Boreas. It is the catalyst that drives the labyrinth. You're not... But you... What have you done with my child? My boy! Where is my boy?
Your son is dead, Daedalus.
My child? No! 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 The king of the gods has forsaken me.
Zeus will die.
The key took on a life of its own. I grew to love her, Spartan, and she grew to love me as her father.
I trust you.
She is the key to our revenge.
Please, spare her.
You shouldn't.
Please, don't do it.
In the end, you'll betray only yourself.
Welcome back to more Let's Play God of War 3. We have entered the Labyrinth. Last time we delivered some bad news to a father. And this time... Oh, we also killed a scorpion, but I don't want to talk about the scorpion. The scorpion's a psycho. This time, we're inside the Labyrinth. The place where Pandora is being held. So we're going to go ahead and explore the Labyrinth. We're going to solve not that many puzzles. What we're really going to be doing is doing a lot of combat. The Labyrinth is a gauntlet of enemies, and it begins right here with 2 Poseidon Talos. This is where my good run of God of War 3 is going to come to its end, because I die here. This is also my 200th death in the entire series of God of War, including Betrayal. So that's a milestone, I guess. That's why I put Atreus there, fanning himself. If you get through this entire labyrinth, basically everything from the beginning of this video to the very end of this video, if you can do this, if you can do everything that I do in this video without dying once, then you will get a trophy called, what is it, Amazing? Amazing, I think. The trophy for completing the labyrinth without dying. It's basically everything in this video. You do everything in this video without dying, you get that trophy. And it starts with this fight with the 2 Poseidon Talos. Straightforward. We have level 5 enemy in Cestus. Take it slow, because these guys, while easy to read in terms of their attack, and everything they do can be blocked with nothing that can break your block. Don't get greedy. And as we've been doing with double Talos fights, always make sure that both Talos are at QTE kill range before you go after it and before you finish one of them off. It just makes it easier when the reinforcements inevitably show up, and they will inevitably show up in the Labyrinth. This is the first of 3 truly major fights in the Labyrinth. There are not only 3 fights in the Labyrinth, but there are only 3 major fights in the Labyrinth, and this is the first of those 3. Once you kill one Talos, a Cerberus will show up, so again, it's good that we have the second Talos at QTE kill range, so we can just get it out the way and just deal with the Cerberus Uno versus Uno. Don't get greedy, use basic attacks, get the Cerberus very quickly to QTE QTE range so you can ride it. Once you do, you will see that 2 more Talos show up along with hounds. Along with plenty of hounds. Or I think the hounds only start showing up after you kill yeah, the hounds only show up after a little bit of time. When the 2 Taluses spawn in. Thankfully, we dealt with the Taluses so fast that we're now able to deal with the hounds just completely on their own, which is exactly what you want. Similar to God of War 2's final enemy gauntlet, this is God of War 3's final enemy gauntlet, and the same basic principle applies. If you can manipulate a fight so that you only have to deal with one enemy type, do that. You don't want to be caught in a situation where you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're dealing with 2 or 3 different enemy types, some of which can break your guard, some of which can't. You would rather simplify things and deal with just one enemy type, as we're doing right now. Moving on to the second room of the labyrinth, however, the second block. Now that we've constructed the labyrinth, we're moving through all of these blocks. The second one is not a combat situation. This is just a basic puzzle. ABE, always be exploring, especially in the labyrinth. You want to go out of your way to double check for any sparklies, because the developers love to hide chests behind the head of Helios sparklies, especially in the labyrinth. In the labyrinth, there are so many instances of that. Always make sure that you are double checking your environment first before doing anything, so that you don't miss out on any item chests. This room features a relatively simple environmental puzzle. It's not timed or anything. You just got to, play it smart, play it cool. Wait for your opportunity. There we go. Climb up to the very top. Wait for that spiked thing to come back over, and there you go. You can just hit the lever and you're done. The second room is already complete. The environmental puzzles in the labyrinth are, for the most part, a non-factor. It's the combat stuff that's really going to be that's really going to command your focus during your time inside the labyrinth. We're transitioning over to the next one. Absolutely love the soundtrack inside the labyrinth, especially that little sting you hear when you cross the bridge. It's really good stuff. Really enjoy it. This third room is another environmental puzzle, not a combat scenario. I would recommend you fill up, because you're not going to be fighting any enemies in here, and you're not coming back to this room. So go ahead and take advantage of the chest there to fill up. We can flip the room into two different directions. We want to move this little moving platform there. We just want to move that over so that it lands on the ground as such. And at this point, we can go ahead and just do some sneaky bit of platforming to get ourselves a hidden item chest. And with that hidden item chest, now we can move on and actually solve the actual puzzle of the room, which is even simpler than that. We also go ahead and get our Nemesis Whip up to level 5. Now all we have left is the Claws of Hades. That's good stuff. That's very exciting. To actually leave this room, though, all we have to do is just push this block there, anywhere in that general area, so that when we flip the room back over, now the block's up here, we put it on the button, and that is that. Very straightforward, very simple stuff. Again, the environmental puzzles, with one exception, is a non-factor in the labyrinth. It's the combat scenarios that you're really going to have to watch out for. This fourth room is another combat scenario, in fact, and it's quite difficult. It's not supposed to be. I did great in the practice run, but in my actual recording, as the complete opposite of the Scorpion King scenario, the Scorpius scenario, I did really, really badly in this room. Again, if you want the trophy for getting to the labyrinth in one life, you gotta not die here, as I did. You can take advantage of save points in case you do die, so that you can reset to try again. But yeah, I died 3 more times there. Unfortunate, but my overall death count in God of War 3 is still fantastic so far, so I'm not complaining that I died 3 times. The actual fight, you're dealing with Minotaurs, you're dealing with advanced soldiers. Is one of the reasons why this fight's a little bit more difficult than you would expect, because you're not dealing with the unarmored soldiers that you can just carry. You are dealing with the actual whatever advanced soldier name type they have that can attack you with axes and can't be grabbed, and you have to parry them or get them weak enough before you can pick them up and do some ram stuff. So yeah, good stuff. I apologize, by the way, if outside you hear like a motorcycle or some landscaping going on, because of course, every time I choose to record, something has to go on outside. If I did this with any kind of regular consistency, then I would be genuinely angry that I don't have like a professional studio. But you know, I don't do it with consistency, so we just deal with the distractions as they come. Eventually, once you kill most of the enemies, all the spikes on the floor will pop up. You have to launch yourself to the Harpy or you will die automatically. Launching yourself up to the Harpy and having the room flip over will move us on to the second and final phase of the battle, which introduces Sirens instead of Minotaurs into the equation. So, Phase 1, Phase 1, Advanced Soldiers and Sirens. Advanced Soldiers and Minotaurs for Phase 1. Phase 2 is Advanced Soldiers, Sirens, and eventually Minotaurs come into play, but not immediately. It's a difficult battle. This is the second of the 3 giant battles that will really, really test you inside the Labyrinth. The Labyrinth is the equivalent of God of War 2's Inner Sanctum. It is the enemy gauntlet of the game. And you want to absolutely make sure that you are ready for this. That your important weapons, the Blades of Exile and the Nemean Cestus, are fully powered up to their max. Once you kill most of the enemies, the spikes will pop up again. Everything will die except for the Sirens. You can leave if you want to. You don't actually have to fight them. I don't know why they survived. They usually don't. I think it's a glitch that they survived, but I'm not sure. I mentioned before that there weren't that many more glitches after a certain point in God of War 3, but I genuinely forgot about this. I don't know why these Sirens survived. They should not have. But whatever. It's done now. They almost killed me, but it's done now. We've also made it to the heart of the Labyrinth. It's time to actually meet Pandora in person. So I will see you after that cutscene where we get to meet Pandora. All right? See you after.
Pandora! What has he done?
He told me to never talk to you again. He told me if I did, he would hurt you the way he hurt my father.
He won't.
He told me he would kill you.
He can't. We must leave this place.
Come, I can show you the way.
Well, this is a rare scenario. It's not the only time that this happens in the God of War franchise, but Kratos usually travels alone in the Greek saga. Except that one time where we had Deimos with us very briefly. Now we have Pandora with us ever so briefly to act. She is sort of like an escort character. You sort of have to escort her, but she's got
Kratos, help me up.
She's got immunity to enemies. Enemies can't actually attack her.
This way.
You'll see in our next combat encounter here. I don't count this as one of the 3 big combat encounters of the Labyrinth.
No!
Because it's very short. We only have Gorgons and unarmored soldiers that you can just pick up and ram people with very easily.
Careful, Kratos.
This also demonstrates the usefulness of Pandora of having Pandora in the labyrinth. Not only is she immune to enemies, they can't actually hurt her.
Look out, Kratos.
But some enemies will be drawn to try and attack her. She can't be hurt, but the enemies will still try to attack her, which is great. Not that you want her to get hurt, but it's great that the focus and attention of some of the enemies can be diverted, thanks to Pandora.
Careful, Kratos.
It makes what could have potentially been a bigger encounter, this particular encounter here with the unarmored soldiers and the Gorgons, very straightforward. Because not all of them are going to be focusing in on you at any given time. Some of them are going to be just off screen trying to focus on getting to Pandora, but can't.
Look out, Kratos.
This fight is a lot easier than it potentially should have been. So yeah.
No!
Yes, Pandora. Not no, yes. Alright. And with that, we can move on to more environmental puzzles. As I said, there's only 3 major combat encounters in the Labyrinth. That is not one of them. I don't count that as one of them because Pandora makes that encounter much easier than it might have been. This is the first of 2 environmental puzzles involving Pandora, involving saving Pandora. The second one is annoying and kind of glitchy. But this first one is very easy. Very easy. You have plenty of time, don't worry. We're already done. You're welcome, Pandora. We're already done. We got ourselves another red orb chest. We can carry Pandora for certain sections to get her onto platforms and crevices that Kratos can't reach or will need to have Pandora also reach.
Kratos? I think I can open the cage. Yes, I can free myself. Wait, I see something. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe I can. I'm going to try something. I think I got it.
Pandora's stuck in another trap now. So let's go ahead and get her out of this one too. Let's get up there. Up the stairs and up to the trickier of the 2 environmental puzzles. So this one's tricky. You are on a timer. Not yet though.
No!
So feel free to grab this item chest before the timer actually kicks in.
Kratos! Hurry!
The timer won't actually kick in until you pull this thing out. Once you pull this thing out, the timer kicks in, and this more annoying trap begins. Alright, so the water trap. This is just another environmental puzzle with climbing, but the very end of the puzzle is a little bit glitchy. A little bit glitchy, a little bit buggy. It's very easy to die to the trap at the very end of... To die to the trap at the very end of all this. It's very easy to die at the trap at the very end of this whole thing. Not a fan comparatively. It's kind of annoying when you're having a good run and you die to an environmental thing. But here we go. Let's see the weird glitch that gets us dead here. Yay. Whatever. Second time's the charm. No weird glitch this time. Let's make our way there. Push this thing around, and then we're done. with that, we're already almost done with the Labyrinth. We only have one more combat encounter. That is the last puzzle of the Labyrinth. We only have one more combat encounter, and then we're done. And then we're off to the end of the game. So I hope you're excited. I said that the game slows down, but here at the Labyrinth, things finally start to speed up again. So that's good to know.
I'm ready. This way.
Things start to speed up again now that we've saved Pandora, and we can start hyping and building up to the final boss battle of the game. So that's good. I like that we're done with the slow parts now. Not that I don't like slow parts in video games. Just God of War 3 is so specifically targeted to being this big unending hype train that when it does end, it's kind of weird, kind of off-putting. But at this point, I'm doing another little check here because I want to make sure that I've got I got certain moves and stuff for the upcoming enemy gauntlet that we're going to be encountering, because we're going to be using the me and Cestus a lot.
Thank you, Kratos.
Our journey is far from over, Pandora. By its end, you will not be thanking me.
I know I look it, but I'm not a child, Kratos. I've seen many terrible things. I'm not afraid. I understand what lies ahead. I saw Zeus torture my father. I saw him beaten because of me. I should have helped him, but I was afraid.
Hephaestus did what every father should do. Protect his child.
No! It's all my fault. I failed him because of fear. Fear is its own kind of darkness. In that darkness, I heard what the gods said about me. They called me a monster.
Words mean nothing.
Perhaps. But in their words, I heard fear. The fear of an ash-covered warrior. The fear of you. As the fear in the gods rose, mine was replaced by hope.
Hope is for the weak, Pandora.
Hope is what makes us strong. It is why we are here. It is what we fight with when all else is lost.
This is what hope delivers, child. You should learn that now.
Okay, here we go. This is the final enemy gauntlet of the video and of the game. There's going to be more fighting after this, but this is the big, giant enemy gauntlet that lasts for the entirety of the rest of the video. The next 10 minutes is this battle because it's so long and so involved. It has multiple phases. The first phase is 3 sirens. You want to take advantage of the God of War camera thing and of Pandora to get some of the enemies to aggro to Pandora, and to get the enemies that are not on camera to just not do anything in the first place. When you're dealing with sirens, it's better to use Blades of Exile if you want. The a combination of the Blades of Exile and then me and Cestus are going to be great for this whole gauntlet. This is a very, very long gauntlet. You're going to be stuck in this room for a very, very long time fighting a ridiculous amount of enemies before you actually get to escape. The key to this is taking advantage of the God of War 3 camera thing, where the enemies that are not on screen are going to be not doing anything. You want to always make sure that you only have 1 or 2 enemies on screen that are actively doing things at any given time. And ideally, Pandora is also on screen so that those 1 or 2 enemies are either focused on Pandora or splitting their focus between Pandora and you. Anytime a row of soldiers show up, because there's going to be plenty of points in this battle where rows of soldiers are going to be popping up with onyx shields. Anytime they do that, they pop up in a row. So you always want to make sure that you go up to the left end of the row or the right end of the row and do the Nemean roar once, and that should break most, if not all, of their shields. So you have sirens, you have onyx shield regular soldiers, you have raids that also show up, and eventually minotaurs are also going to join the party. There's 4 different enemy types here. There are so many of them, and it's chaos mode, so they all have so much health. This is a very, very dangerous battle, and it's a very, very long battle, so you want to conserve your magic. You want to exclusively be using your magic just for those rows of Onyx soldiers. Once you start getting pretty sure that you're closer to the end, which is like once the 4th or 5th wave of the Onyx shielded soldiers show up, that's when you know you're starting to get close to the end, so you can start being a little bit more liberal with the magic at that point. But in the beginning phases of this fight, you really want to make sure that you are just using magic exclusively for when the Onyx shielded enemies show up. And the Rage of Sparta isn't going to help you that much here at all. It's really not as good a rage mode as the Rage of the Titans or the Rage of the Gods from God of War 2 and 1 respectively. So really, you want to be relying on your Blades of Exile, your Nemean Cestus, and the occasional magic. The Bow of Apollo is also super useful. The Head of Helios is also super useful. This is a very, very long, drawn-out battle, so you have to make sure that you are taking this slow and you're not just rushing into things. Use the God of War 3 camera thing. Make sure you've only got 1 or 2 enemies on screen at any given time. It makes it much, much easier to manage and juggle this if you only got a few of the difficult enemies, the sirens and the raids, on screen at any given time. Doing the QTE kill on the sirens ensure that all the enemies around the sirens are going to take some damage. That's good. Doing the Nemean Roar whenever a row of Onyx shielded soldiers show up is also good, because it means soldiers that have Onyx shields are so much more annoying to deal with than the ones that don't. You really want to make sure you get rid of those Onyx shields as soon as possible. Pandora is a saving grace in this fight. This fight would be way more torturous and difficult if Pandora wasn't there to take some of the edge off by getting some of the enemies to not focus in on Kratos. So big thanks to Pandora for just being there and drawing enemy attention away from Kratos. It's a very, very long fight though, so be prepared to remain in this for the slog. Don't waste your magic, not yet. You really want to make sure that you know you're closer to the end of the fight before you start doing something ridiculous like that. And the Rage of Sparta, again, is really not going to help you out too much in this battle. Try to do QTE kills on Minotaurs, because you get, what do you get? You get health back for doing that, right? Yeah, you get health back for doing the QTE kills on the Minotaurs. It's always a good idea. Sirens, probably the most annoying enemy in this encounter. This is the encounter that makes Sirens so deadly and so dangerous. They are a menace in this encounter. They have so much health. So much health. They're very annoying. Thankfully, again, rely on their tricks. God of War 3 camera thing, making sure you've only got like 1 or 2 of these things on screen at once to deal with. Anytime a siren is flying up higher in the air, it's because they're getting ready to do a screen nuke scream attack. If they're doing a scream nuke scream attack, you have to use L1 circle with any of your weapons. Blades of Exile and Nemean Cestus are recommended to get them back onto the ground as soon as possible to prevent them from doing that super attack that has a very, very wide range. Another row of Onyx soldiers. You want to go ahead and use more Nemean Roar. At this point, we're starting to get a little bit closer to the end, but I still wouldn't recommend that you waste your stuff just yet. Again, the whole rest of this video is this fight because it is so long. And we're not speeding up, so I need you to see just how long and just how drawn out this fight is and just how conservative you have to be with your stuff in order to have a successful fight here in Chaos mode. If it's just soldiers, then good. You're going to have a great time. It just means that you're dealing with enemies that you can grab and ram into others anytime you want. Excellent. Of course, we got more Minotaurs joining the party now. At this point, I would say the final row of the Onyx soldiers has probably has probably popped up by this point. So now if you want to use some more magic, you can use some Army of Sparta to do some screen nuke damage if you wanted to. Because I'm pretty sure at this point, the only things that are going to show up now are going to be a couple more raids to reinforce. I'm pretty sure, yeah. At this point, we only have a couple more raids, and then that's the end of the fight. So you can play back this video and count up how many waves of Onyx shielded soldiers there have been. But after you're certain you've gotten through like 5 of them, five waves, 5 lines of those armored soldiers, you can start being a little bit more liberal with your magic. You can go ahead and start using magic for other enemies as opposed to exclusively just for the armored soldiers. I still wouldn't bother using the Rage of Sparta. It's not that good against enemies that aren't normal enemies like the Sirens and the Raids. But at this point, if you wanted to start using magic for other stuff, you can go ahead and do. You can go ahead and do that and probably get away with it at this point. It's a very long, drawn-out fight, but it's almost over now. We've only got these 3 enemies. The 2 raids, and that 1 siren. I think the siren's going to be the last thing I kill. Because of course it is. The sirens are just so slippery and annoying. And the raids, despite having a lot of health, really aren't that bad to deal with. The sirens, though, are sneaky and very, very slippery to deal with. Not a fan of the sirens at all. But some triple triangle combos will finally bring an end to this final siren and this whole fight. That item chest that we see there on the right is usually hidden by sparklies. You can't really tell because I used to head Helios so early in the battle against these sirens that the chest is guaranteed to pop up anyway. Same with that red orb chest hidden behind sparklies. Again, guaranteed to see it because you're probably going to be using the Head of Helios a lot during this battle. We can start leveling up our Claws of Hades some more. Level 3 now. Fantastic. We're almost done. Only 2 more levels to go before everything is fully maxed out. We got one final note here that Daedalus somehow wrote in blood while his hands were spread eagle like that. I don't know how he wrote this thing, but he did. He doesn't know that Kratos killed Icarus. He just knows that Zeus kind of screwed everyone over, which is true. So, you know. Yeah, why not? Give us that message. Anyway, that is the end of this video. There is nothing more. There is nothing more to say or discuss. We have made it through the labyrinth. Next time, we have to get Pandora up to the Flame of Olympus so we can actually open Pandora's box. That'll be a problem for the next episode, though. I hope you all enjoyed. The labyrinth is difficult. It is a skill check, but compared to the enemy gauntlet of God of War II, it is not as bad, I would say. So I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.